You get enough sleep, but you wake up tired. You go on vacation, but you come back more depleted, needing a vacation from the vacation. You pray, you journal, you try to do better, but the exhaustion just sits there underneath everything like this slow hum that you can't turn off. And the most confusing part is nothing is technically wrong. You're functioning, you're showing up, everybody thinks you're good, you're doing the things. So why does it feel like this? Today, I'm going to tell you exactly why in plain language. So there's no medical degree required because you can't fix something you haven't correctly identified. And what most high capacity women are experiencing, it's not discipline or faith or character. It's really a nervous system problem. So stay right here. Before I go further, I want to say something clearly. I am not a therapist. I am not a doctor. I have holistic wellness practice for 20 years. I have 20 years of experience. I have a rational emotive behavior therapy certification, and I have a deep personal history of living everything I'm about to teach. I'm not diagnosing you, so I'm just giving you language for what your body has already been trying to say. Okay, so your nervous system is your body's command center. It regulates everything. Your heart rate, your breathing, your digestion, your sleep, your mood, your ability to think clearly and make good decisions. And most importantly, for this conversation, it determines whether your body feels safe or threatened at any given moment. It has two primary states. The first is your parasympathetic state, sometimes called rest and digest. This is where your body repairs itself, where creativity lives, where you can think clearly, feel connected, and make decisions from your values instead of your fear. The second is your sympathetic state, your fight or flight. This, I think most people know, it's your body's emergency response. Your heart rate is up, digestion is paused, your muscles are tensed, and cortisol and adrenaline are flooding through your system. Every resource is directed towards survival. So fight or flight is not bad. It was designed for genuine threats, a predator, a car accident, a real emergency. The problem is your nervous system cannot tell the difference between a lion chasing you and an email from your boss that you haven't opened yet. Both trigger the same response. And if you are a high capacity woman carrying responsibility for your family, your career, your finances, your business, other people's well-being, and your own calling, your nervous system may be running a low-grade emergency response almost constantly, not occasionally, constantly. That is nervous system dysregulation. And it changes everything. You're right. Nobody wakes up and thinks, I think my nervous system is dysregulated today. They think, why am I so tired? Why did I snap at my daughter over something small? Why can't I focus? Why does everything feel urgent? Why do I lie awake at night even when I am exhausted? Why does rest not feel restful? Here's what dysregulation actually looks like in the body of a high capacity woman. You wake up braced, not rested. You're already tensed for what's coming. The tension is in your jaw, your shoulders, your neck. It just never fully releases, even on weekends. The exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix because your nervous system is running in the background all night processing threat signals. The irritability that surprises you. You're not an angry person, but you have a shorter fuse than you used to because a dysregulated nervous system has no buffer. The inability to be fully present. You're in the room, but you're also managing 3 other things in your head simultaneously. The decision fatigue. Even small decisions feel heavy because your cognitive resources are already depleted by the constant low-level stress response. The guilt spiral afterward. You snapped, you didn't show up the way you wanted to, and instead of rest and repair, your body goes into self-criticism mode, which is just another form of threat. And the cycle just continues. Does any of that sound familiar? That's not weakness. It's not that you have a lack of faith. That's a nervous system that has been asked to hold too much for too long. They're not supposed to fix this on their own. And understanding why is one of the most freeing things I can tell you. Your nervous system operates largely below the level of conscious thought. That means you cannot think your way out of a physiological stress response. You cannot affirm your way out of elevated cortisol. You can't journal your way to a regulated nervous system, at least not quickly. Mindset work is real and it's important. I am rational and emotive behavior therapy certified. I believe deeply in the power of renewing your mind. Scripture is clear on this. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. But renewing your mind and regulating your nervous system are two different processes that work at two different levels. Your mind works with thoughts and beliefs. Your nervous system works with signals from your body, your environment, and your history. To regulate your nervous system, you have to work at the level of the body. Breath, movement, rest, safety signals, somatic practices, nutrition, connection. This is not instead of faith. This is alongside faith. Jesus wept. Jesus slept. He even withdrew to rest. Jesus ate. Jesus breathed. He was fully God and fully man. But he honored the physiological needs of his human body. He didn't just pray his way past exhaustion. He rested. So if the Son of God honored his body's need for physical restoration, you have permission to do the same. Because we were taught implicitly or explicitly that the spirit is superior to the body, that physical weakness is a spiritual failure, that you just had to have more faith, you could push through, that rest is for people who aren't committed enough. So when the exhaustion comes, and it's going to always come, the interpretation is spiritual. I must not be trusting God enough. I must be in sin. I must be weak in my faith. And then she prays harder, commits more, serves more, says yes to more, and the body gets worse because it needed rest and it got more demands. I want to say this clearly. Your nervous system dysregulation is not evidence of spiritual failure. It is evidence of a body that was designed by God with a specific capacity and has been asked to exceed that capacity for a long time without adequate recovery. God built rest into creation before humans ever sinned. Sabbath was not a consequence of the fall. It was original design. So your body's need for regulation is not a spiritual problem. It is a design feature being ignored. The signals are loud, but we've been trained to override them. So I'm going to give them to you. Signal 1, chronic tension in the body, your jaw clenching, shoulder tightness, headaches that keep coming back, your body holding stress in specific places. This is your nervous system saying, I am carrying something I haven't been able to put down. That's 1. Signal 2, emotional reactivity that surprises you. When you snap at someone you love over something small, that's not you being a bad person. That's a nervous system with no buffer left responding to a stimulus that would normally be manageable. Signal 3 is difficulty resting even when you have the opportunity. You sit down to rest and your mind immediately goes to what you should be doing instead. Your body is physically still, but your nervous system is still running. That's dysregulation in simple words. Signal 4, sleep that doesn't restore you. You slept 8 hours, you're still tired. That's because sleep and nervous system restoration are not the same thing. You can be unconscious and still in this low-grade stress state. Signal 5, the low hum. This is the one most women describe when they finally have language for it. It's this constant low-level anxiety that runs underneath everything. Not a panic attack and it's not a crisis. It's just something that never fully shuts off. And that hum is your nervous system telling you the threat response has been on for so long that it started to feel like your baseline. It is not your baseline. It is dysregulation that has been normalized. Some women have been dysregulated so long they don't have a reference point. This is the most important question in this whole episode, because if you've been running in survival mode for years, you may have forgotten what it feels like to not be braced. So a regulated nervous system feels like waking up and having a moment before the day lands on you, making decisions from clarity instead of urgency, being able to sit in a quiet room without immediately reaching for your phone, feeling your emotions without being controlled by them, resting without guilt, being present in a conversation, actually present, not just half managing something in the background. Having access to your creativity, your humor, your warmth, the parts of yourself that go quiet when you're in survival mode. You don't have to manufacture those feelings. They're already in you. They're just underneath the chronic stress response, and rhythm is the path back to them. Most wellness approaches work on one layer, mindset only, or body only, or spiritual only. The rhythm framework works on all three simultaneously because dysregulation doesn't live in just one layer. It lives in the intersection. So your thoughts shape your nervous system response. Your body shapes your ability to access clear thought. Your spiritual foundation shapes what you believe about your own worth and capacity. That is so important. You pull on any one thread and the others shift. The 6 rhythm types I developed are essentially 6 different patterns of dysregulation. Each type drifts in a specific way, gets stuck in a specific way, and comes back in a specific way. The anchor overfunctions under pressure until the weight becomes unbearable. The nurturer gives until she's empty and she calls it love. The seeker consumes information looking for the thing that will finally make her feel settled. The visionary lives so far ahead in her head that her body is starving for presence. The catalyst burns so bright and so fast that crashes become her rhythm. The rebuilder moves so carefully and slowly that she mistakes her discernment for fear. Each type needs a different on-ramp back to regulation. Not the same practice for everyone. Not a generic morning routine. A specific return path for how you specifically drift. That's what the quiz identifies. That's what the framework provides. That's what Sanctuary teaches you to live. The quiz. It's 3 minutes, it's free. It will identify your rhythm type, which of the 6 patterns is most active in your life right now, and give you language for how you've been drifting and where your regulation practice begins. That's your starting point. I don't want you to start with a program or a commitment. It's just, you just need clarity. 3 minutes and you'll know more about why you feel the way you feel than you have in years. The link will be in the description, and I'll see you there.